I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And today we're going to be talking about how to get your ex back when they don't have feelings for you. Mm-hmm. So this hurts.
Yes.
I got to tell you,
yes.
When somebody tells you they don't have feelings for you anymore, it is just one of the worst feelings. You just kind of feel deflated.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, how could we have gotten to this when things were so good for so long? We've been together for however long it's been, and now you don't even have feelings for me. It's just heartbreaking. And particularly when your ex is saying it, a lot of times they are in this attitude of, this is my mission. I'm getting this done.
Yeah.
And so they could be particularly hurtful and cruel to you and say it in a way that makes you feel even worse.
Exactly.
Right? So we're going to talk about this, like, how do you get somebody back when somebody doesn't have feelings for you? Well, first of all, I do want to say you can't make anybody do anything. Despite what advertisements in front of my channel may say from other coaches, you can't make anybody do anything. But what you can do is put yourself in the best position of trying to, eliminate mistakes and increase the probability that they're going to feel attracted to you again. Because, even if they're not wanting to be with you romantically at this moment, it doesn't mean it stays that way.
Right. And at this moment, it really is the key word or the key words here. And we will remind you once again that feelings do change. I know we say this over and over and over again, but it's because it's true. And right now you might be in the mental state of, oh no, they told me that they don't have feelings for me. And brains have a difficult time with time. So for us, we might take that as, oh, they never had feelings for us, or they never will have feelings for us.
Yeah.
So try to keep in mind the present, and what they're telling you is what they're feeling in this moment.
That's really important to understand, because when your ex is so adamant in that time, it feels like they will always be that adamant. But that's just not the way we operate.
Exactly.
Right? Any more than that you felt the same way on your first date with somebody than you did on your 30th date. Right? Things are different in time.
Exactly. And so in order to get them back, what do you really do? What actionable steps can you take? And what mistakes do you avoid? So off the bat, you want to avoid resisting the breakup. And this is the most common thing that we see, and the most immediate thing that happens, really. When somebody says they don't have feelings for you, it hits you so hard, and it makes you feel like you want to convince them otherwise. Like Craig said in the beginning, you really can't convince somebody to have feelings. It's like that Bon Iver song, or originally a Bonnie Raitt song, I believe, that says, I can't make you love me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the song.
Yeah, it really is like that. You can't force somebody into having feelings. And in fact, if you try to convince them, they will feel like you're trying to convince them. That can aggravate them. That can make them feel guilty. And when you're making somebody feel guilt, that doesn't complement the connection. It doesn't spark that connection. In fact, it does the opposite. It has all these negative feelings involved. So you want to show them that you respect them by saying, okay, I respect how you're feeling now, and I respect your decision now.
Yeah, and it's literally the last thing you want to do.
Yeah.
Instinct is to try and repair it and maintain that connection. And so it's like everything inside of you says, keep trying to reach out, keep trying to repair this, and keep the connection alive, when I really think what you have to do is leave them alone. And that's probably the worst thing to hear when you're going through a breakup.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave them alone.
Yeah.
But you have to allow them to sit with that decision. And you need to stop contacting them. I like to say no reaching out, right? Because when you hear no contact, that could be very confusing.
Right.
I've had people try to avoid their ex
Yeah.
because they're thinking, I'm supposed to be in no contact.
Right.
I had somebody years ago that saw his ex at the park, and he like tried to run the other way because he didn't want to be seen. He's like, I can't have any contact with her.
Yeah.
And then it made it worse because her dog saw him and ran to him at the park, and then she thought he was stalking him and trying to run away. I mean, you can't even make this stuff up.
Yeah.
I remember who the guy was.
Wow.
And that was from probably like 3 or 4 years ago. So no reaching out is what I'm trying to get you to say. Allowing them the space to miss you is huge.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it, but it really is huge in trying to make the other person want to reconnect with you.
Yeah, and the hard part about this is that no contact feels like such a passive technique or such a passive strategy to get your ex back.
Yep.
And it almost makes you feel like you're doing nothing. You're like, okay, but what do I do? Where's something that I can practically put into action? No contact is something that you can practically put into action, depending on how much work you put into that. Also, the point that we're trying to make here is that they need to believe that a relationship with you is worth coming back to. And so this is why we mean that no contact is actionable and is doing something, because this is the time that you do take for yourself to become that person and to accentuate your strengths. And they need to think to themselves, okay, am I coming back into the relationship that I left with all of the same reasons that I left still there?
Yeah.
Meaning they need to come back into a relationship where they feel valued, where they feel listened to, where they feel respected, or any of the other complaints that they might have had during the breakup. So you do want to have that retrospection and that self-reflection onto the breakup as to what those reasons were.
Sure. Everybody's going to make mistakes in a relationship. You're going to get into arguments. You're going to become selfish at times or not think about your partner's perspective at times. But the more aware you become of those issues and the more centered you get, the more secure you get, the less likely you are going to be selfish or ignore your partner's needs or shut your partner down or try and fix problems instead of listening to what they have to say. That's a big thing that guys want to do, is they want to fix instead of trying to really understand what that person is going through. And so as you build these skills and learn about needs and what your needs are, what your attachment issues are, what their attachment issues are, the more you can navigate with that particular person. And if your ex doesn't come back, you use these skills in dating, and quite frankly, nobody knows the skills that we teach. And many of you say we go to therapists and they don't understand the stuff that you teach. And that's true. And so you take these skills and you're going to be so far ahead of the game and minimizing mistakes with new people, if it's a new person, that they're going to be blown away. You're not going to really have competition.
Exactly. And you really want to work on those issues, just like Craig was saying. So they probably felt unhappy in the relationship, and you want to think about the underlying meaning to their reasons for the breakup. Maybe it's not that they don't have any feelings for you at all, but they didn't have enough to stay. So think critically about what these feelings are and what maintains that exciting connection. Maybe over time you became complacent. Maybe the relationship lost its spark just because you got into the routine of things. And especially with COVID and the pandemic and being stuck at home, that made it especially difficult. So many of you in this situation have been broken up because of the pandemic, or other reasons. There are many reasons as to why somebody could become complacent. But you do want to continue working on these relationship skills during no contact. And I think that is the most important piece in no contact. Is not just the space, but also what you are doing in that space.
Yeah, because you don't know when they're going to reach out. It could be a week, it could be a month, it could be 6 months. And at some point, you have to decide that you're not going to put your life on hold, and we're not telling you to.
Yeah.
That's a personal decision that you have to make for yourself. But what we're saying is you got to really look at your situation and figure out, what did you do that made your ex lose feelings for you? Because while I'm not saying it's your fault, specific things that we do can make your ex lose feelings for you, right? If you've constantly ignored them, or you yelled at them, or you didn't listen to them, and you've done things like that, that ruins the attraction and the connection. Safety is so important in relationships. You want to make your partner feel safe, that they can talk to you and open up about anything and everything, and that the more that you make them feel safe, the more likely they're going to tell you things like, I haven't been too happy lately. And you can say, tell me what's going on. Help me understand. And you can work on that with them. But, just because your ex is not feeling attracted to you enough to be with you right now, or maybe they think the relationship is not going to change, it doesn't mean that those feelings will stay that way. And if you maximize what you're doing in this time and learning skills, and you really blow them away when you get in front of them again, they're not going to want to miss out on this new version of you.
Right.
They're going to look at you and say, I can't even believe how different you are. And that's going to naturally make them drawn to you again.
Right. And another thing to be said about this is consistency. You want to make sure that you're keeping up with the work that you're doing throughout no contact and throughout the relationship.
Yep.
Many times what can happen is you do separate from your ex for a while, and you have the motivation for a little while to do some personal growth and some real self-reflection, etc. But then over time it starts to dissipate. Then by the time you do hear back from your ex, you've reverted back to your old ways, or you haven't kept up. So just like working out, you have to go to the gym every day, or, whatever your routine is, you have to have consistency in that in order to see results.
Yep.
The same is true for your mental health. The same is true for your personal growth.
And I would say that one of the biggest things that will cause you to slip is the belief that your ex isn't coming back. I have found time and time again that once you believe that your ex isn't coming back, you will drop off on your motivation and you'll revert back to the old ways. You really want to do this for you.
Yeah.
I understand that you want to do it for them, and that's okay. But really, truly, you want to make the changes for yourself and your own life. And when you can get to that kind of intrinsic motivation instead of using your ex to stay motivated, you'll find yourself far more motivated for longer than the people that kind of give up. I talked to somebody earlier this week that his motivation level went down because he wasn't sure how he felt about his ex anymore. And I was trying to get him motivated again. Come on, you want to do this for yourself, because either they're going to come back or you're going to meet somebody better and you're going to regret making mistakes with the new person.
Exactly.
So hopefully this video has been helpful. Of course, if you want to get my help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Coach Margaret, of course, is available for Skype coaching. And Coach Victoria will continue to train with us.
I'll be here.
But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to askcraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.